Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Just a Dude Podcast. I do appreciate y'all joining me, and I hope you enjoy. I do apologize for the long hiatus in between episodes, but I've been working really hard to try to get my YouTube completely organized so that I can have regular episodes uploaded on the daily, at least 5 days a week, as well as working on trying to outreach to the community and trying to meet new people and network with amazing, fantastic new individuals. And, I just wanted to take a second to as well say thank you to my community, to my admins, Oyomore, Ayumi, Captain Fleeb, Zeronian, Bearbrush, all of y'all for your support throughout the years, for helping me continue on and trying to make this dream come true of becoming a content creator. You have no idea how much it means to me that I've met so many amazing people throughout my journey in attempting to do this. So thank you. And also a special thank you goes out to my buddy, Matt, who is known under Twitter and I believe also Instagram as Red Hair Images. Sorry, I had to double check to make sure I had the name right. He is an absolutely amazing photographer. Let me tell you, if you have not checked out his work, his Twitter and Instagram will be linked in the bio, as well as if any of y'all are interested, we do have our new merch store up. And if you are interested in participating in our merch store, as well as being a subscriber to our Patreon, which we have brand new rewards, as well as a loyalty program just for y'all up now, finally getting everything set up there. If you do want to support me as well, you are more than welcome to check out the links in the bio, as well as the links that will be in my link tree and in my YouTube bio. So thank you for that. Now, enough of the selling myself. Let's continue on with the podcast, right? So I've been working on trying to reorganize this podcast so it's a little bit more fun, and I'm trying to do segments now so that, well, I can work on practice editing as well as incorporating music from my personal friend who is known as Veil Walker. You can find them on YouTube. They will also be tagged in the bio, and they are my primary source of music. So I am absolutely thankful to know so many people that are so talented, because I'm also going to be unveiling on our merch store a couple of new designs thanks to the amazingly, fantastically, unbelievably talented Yomore. If you want to check out his work, I will figure out a way to have some form of way for y'all to contact him, because he does really, really good graphic artwork, and I am so thankful for everything, Yomore. If you do watch this, thank you. Now, another thing is, I've been really getting into Digimon content, and I'm going to be incorporating that really heavily into my YouTube, along with my improv series and a couple of other projects that I've been working on. Some of you who have been following me for a good while know about my Path of Titans project that I've been working on, my Fang and Talon project, which I have been working on. I do apologize. A lot of things have been put on the side burner because I've been working hard on other things and pushing really hard on other projects that have been way back in the side burner. It's a cycle. It's a vicious cycle. Either way, I've been working hard on trying to get all that worked out too. And, well, the Fang and Talon project is still being worked on. I just have about 6 more dinosaur profiles to finish, and then getting that up onto the website, getting the website live, and then we're going to have a Google Doc application for anybody who wants to join in on the project and be part of the Path of Titans server and the Fang of Talon project. Now, if you do not know what Path of Titans is a absolutely amazing game that is a dinosaur survival game, much like games like The Isle or Beast of Bermuda. You get to choose from a roster of dinosaurs, and you must survive in a savage environment all on your own and grow into a full-size dinosaur while still continuing to survive. Make friends, find enemies, make shelter, and become a dinosaur. It is a lot of fun, and I plan on doing a mockumentary series based on footage taken from the personal server that will be open to the members of our community on the Discord, as well as anybody who wishes to join in and submit an application. So there is that as well. Now, as always, and part of the podcast, let's talk about game news today. Welcome everybody to game news. Alrighty then. So let's talk about Terra Nil. Now this is a game that is going to be released by the indie studios Free Lives. Based in South Africa, Cape Town, they're best known for the release of the game known as Broforce. Now Terra Nil is going to be a city building game that will be released for PC, mobile iOS, and mobile Android. And it is going to be based around the concept of ecosystem reclamation. It's about the balance and the responsibility that we have with what we do to the environment and what we can do to take the environment back so that we can live in tandem with our world rather than live against our world. Now this is a exciting game and it is very, very well done in my opinion. So let's check out the trailer for it right now.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Hayoon. I work at an indie game studio in Cape Town, South Africa called Free Lives. I'm the art lead on a game called Terra Nil. Terra Nil is coming to Steam in early 2023, as well as a simultaneous launch on mobile with Netflix games.
Now that looks like an absolutely wonderful and peaceful game. The music is serene, the gameplay is peaceful, and I would imagine being able to play a game like this for hours. So if you haven't checked it out, I would definitely recommend looking up what news you can before its release. Thank you so much for checking out this part, and let's go on to the next game. And the next game that we're going to be talking about is Resident Evil 4. The remastered version of this game has been highly anticipated, as everyone has been waiting to see Leon Kennedy's story once more. And of course, this is one of the Resident Evil games that many people thoroughly enjoyed, as it was a different game comparative to the puzzle style of Resident Evil beforehand. This was more of an action-packed style Resident Evil game that was, well, one that took many people by surprise, but it was a welcome surprise. Now let's check out the trailer for this particular remaster.
Located baby eagle. Guess you, me, picked the wrong spot to vacation, eh?
You will receive our most sacred body.
Just seeing that gives me chills. I'm so hoping that I can get my hands on this game, because if I do, I will be adding a dedicated day to playing horror games like Resident Evil and Dead Space on my Twitch stream, specifically because I have enough to do it. And Resident Evil 4 was one of the Resident Evil games that I thoroughly enjoyed because of it, because the fact that it was a refreshing turn from the style of gameplay that we know of Resident Evil. Not to say that it was bad, because I thoroughly enjoyed Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 for the gameplay style that it had, the puzzle gameplay third-person shooter. Rather than being an intensive running first-person shooter, it was something that made you think, made you go through the story of the game. Resident Evil 4 had a combination of that, and that's something that I really did enjoy about this particular game. And I can't wait to see what this will be like. At the very least, maybe through the eyes of others, through their Let's Plays. Either way, let's move on to the next game. Now, Chia is another game being released by an indie studio known as Awaseb, and this is based on New Caledonia as well as Melanesian culture, and it is based around exploration, and it is a action-adventure third-person game that looks quite beautiful. So let's check out the trailer now.
Hi everyone, I'm Phil Crifo, game director on Chia. Let me show you some of the really cool locomotion abilities and traversal options that we built to make exploring the world of Chia fun and rewarding. This is a game about exploration, so it was super important for us that moving around was intuitive, responsive, but also deep enough to stay engaging throughout the whole game. In Chia, you are not bound to design routes and areas. You can climb any surface organically, even at weird angles, and carve your own path through the islands. You can use the terrain's verticality to your advantage by sliding down slopes, and use your glider to cover long distances and break your falls. Well, sometimes. Taking hits and performing intense activities will drain your stamina, but you can upgrade it by finding magical fruits around the archipelago. All foliage in the game is physics-based. Swaying on trees and catapulting yourself through the air is an efficient way to cover long distances. In Chia, you'll spend a lot of time in the air, so why not add a bit of style to it? You can do spins and flips, and even dives, if you're precise enough.
Now that looks like an absolutely beautiful game, complemented by its serene music that really accentuates the exploration vibe of this entire game, and the beautiful scenery that they're showcasing within the archipelago of the New Caledonia region is very, very well done. I am excited to see more about this game, and if you have not checked it out, I definitely recommend checking out videos about it and seeing what the news is. This particular game will be released, I believe, on March 21st. Let me double check that. Yes, March 21st, and it will be available on PS5 as well as PC. So do look out for this game, and now let's talk about the very last game that we're going to be talking about within game news. And the game that we are going to be talking about is Jedi Survivor. This game I am absolutely excited for, which will be releasing in April 21st on all platforms. I believe it's April 21st. Let me double check. Nope, April 28th on all platforms. And this game is the continuation to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, continuing the story of Cal Kestis. Now, I do hope they improve upon some of the mechanics in this particular game, but either way, the storyline was really well done, and I hope they continue on with that feeling and storytelling in this particular game. Now, let's check out the trailer for Jedi Survivor.
It's been a long 5 years. We've tried to resist. Fear and mistrust rule the galaxy.
Cal, look into the fire. It will warm you, keep you company. But left unchecked, it will consume everything. until there is only ash.
How could you let the galaxy fall to this unworthy machine of an empire?
Hope may feel beyond our grasp. But I think we finally found somewhere the Empire can't reach us.
Imagine. No more looking over your shoulder.
A place that's worth fighting for. No matter the cost.
Well, I'm excited. Are you excited? Because I'm excited. Honestly, this game will be the next step within the Star Wars storylines that we get, and I can't wait. Because more expansion on the Star Wars storyline is better for me. I enjoy experiencing it, and I can't wait to see more. I truly can't. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this particular segment. Now we're going to move on to the next segment. Delicious. So, I wanted to add into a segment for my podcast called Digimon of the Month. Now, in the next episode, we will be talking about a specific Digimon and going into a little bit of lore and exploring that particular Digimon just a little bit before I can get into doing full-length breakdowns and lore videos in the future. It's a good practice, you know? And I wanted to take this particular segment to introduce Digimon to those of y'all who don't know what it is, because this is a particular franchise that I absolutely love. And though it is a franchise that many people like to associate with Pokemon, the only true association that these two particular franchises truly have is the fact that there are monsters and there are children in the story. That's really truly about it. But when it comes down to it, Digimon was a franchise that began in the 90s. I believe it was released around 1996 or around 1997, and it originated as an alternative to Tamagotchi, as one of the very first V-Pets ever released that gained success. And it was released by Bandai at the time. Now, this particular franchise started off with these V-Pets being released, and stemmed off from the V-Pets to release a manga known as Digimon V-Tamers 01. And from there also subsequently released the Digimon that is more commonly known, Digimon Adventure, which has the Digidestin that are more iconic to the Digimon franchise. Now, this franchise is a very in-depth, lore-based franchise that, although is very fractured in its storytelling, once you take the time to be able to go through all of it and organize it and understand it, there is a rich amount of story in this particular franchise. Digimon is a story that's based in a modern day society much like ours, based around technology and the net, and the idea that there could be life that develops through the basis of AI created by mankind, that eventually on its own, through causality, gains sentience, and culminates into a world that not only interacts, but is affected by, and alternatively does affect, the real world. Now, if you haven't checked out this series, I do highly recommend it, because it is one that I really do enjoy. It was a part of my childhood, and honestly, if the only reason that you are not watching it, the only reason you have a stipulation about it, is the fact that you think it's a Pokemon clone, you are missing out, my friends. So I do highly recommend it. You don't have to watch it, but it is going to be a regular part of my content. Thank you so much, and we are going to move on to the final segment of my podcast. Now, Another big important part of my life and something that I thoroughly enjoy is tabletop gaming. And though I have my qualms with Wizards of the Coast, D&D will always be something that is a part of my life. And it is something that I want to introduce into my podcast through a segment that I like to call Journals from the D&D Adventurers. Today I read from the journals of OMP, who is a Warforged construct, a pirate as well, currently journeying alongside a group who consists of a turtle, a water genasi, and a triton. Now they have actually banded together to successfully attack and stop a horrendous pirate named Torkma. And in this particular journal segment, they have successfully defeated the treacherous members of Torkma's crew that have been currently guarding their stronghold within the island that they reside on. And upon defeating this band of brigands, they found a ship with magic sails. And now it's time to go after Torkma. Where they'll go next? Well, we'll see next week, won't we? Thank you so much for joining me for this particular entry in the Journals of D&D Adventurers. Well, I truly hope y'all enjoyed my new podcast and how I've organized this. I thank you for joining me for another Just a Dude podcast. Thank you so much, and of course, if you did enjoy, please do check out the links in the bio to see how you can help and participate as well as be part of the community. And of course, check out the different individuals that I will be tagging in the links below, because they are all talented, they are all fantastic, and they are great friends of mine, and I owe them a great deal. Thank you all so much for joining me for Just a Dude podcast, and now it's time to roll credits. Well, that's another video down. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really do appreciate y'all. And of course, if anybody does want to continue to support me and help me in making better quality videos, as well as making my dream of becoming a content creator come true, please do check out the links over here that will show you how you can support me. There's Twitch, there's Patreon, there's these other links on my Linktree, and of course, appreciate every single one of y'all. Alrighty then, have a great one. The love train going on through. Choo choo. I love every single freaking one of you.